Today we're going to take some pictures of a modern city with some vintage cameras. So in the modern photography used a 100-year-old camera video, a couple of people commented and asked me if I could shoot the modern world with an antique camera. So today I've got this Ensign 320 from the late 20s, early 30s. And I've got a Kodak Brownie from the How to Successfully Use a Kodak Brownie video. We're going to take some pictures in London and see what we get. We started our journey on the steps of St Paul's, where I walked up to a couple and asked them if I could take their picture on the Brownie. They loved the idea and I took a picture of them on the Brownie. For this I picked up the Brownie that we used in the How to Successfully Use a Brownie video. It's basically the same except I made a small modification to cover the window when I'm not using it. Using cameraman's best tape and some black wrap. I picked up this because I wanted a bit more control. It's an Ensign Selfix. I think it was built around 1933. Its folding design is very generic for cameras of that time. And it gives you an awful lot more control. This camera will give me aperture control from 6.3 to f32, and it'll give me a shutter speeds from 1/100th of a second to bulb. But the tricky thing about using this camera is it has no through the lens focusing and it doesn't have a rangefinder, so you simply have to guess your distance from the subject and dial it in at the front. The night before I of course checked out the cameras. Here's some actual footage of me doing that and cleaning lenses. While the bellows on the Ensign hadn't collapsed, they were bound to need some patching. To check the bellows, shine a light through them. I use a torch that flashes. Just mark up any holes and cover them with an opaque tape. Can I take a picture of you with this? Super old camera. Good job. Can you get a bit closer? Got it.
Yeah. Is there anything you want us to do?
Our camera's better than yours.
Potentially, yeah.
Got it.
Nice.
Great.
First roll done. Pop this one down here, and I'm going to reload it. I can take a picture of it.
That'll be fine.
Reloading the Ensign is very straightforward. Move the spent spool from the left hand side to the right hand side, load the film on the left, pull it out, put it into the spool that's now on the right hand side. With a gentle bit of pressure with your thumb, just wind it on until you reach the start mark. Then close up the back and wind it on until the number 1 appears in the window.
That was such a good. The model is ready.
That's number 1.
Good. Where is it?
Yeah. As it turned out, the couple that we met on the bench had met on that bench about 2.5 years before and go back there every Friday to celebrate with their friends.
So you met on this bench?
Yeah, this is
That is our bench.
Our bench.
Yeah.
Our bench.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
It might be 2 years. Awesome. Very special picture.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
So stiff.
Well, they just gave me these cameras and I have no clue how to use them. Well, I do, but I have to watch the video again and learn.
This image was tricky and I misfocused by a couple of inches. Stopping the camera down a bit might have given me a greater depth of acceptable focus, at the risk of a slower shutter speed which could have given me camera shake. I could have stood back a little bit, but there were people in the way. The trickiest thing about this camera because there's no way of seeing whether you're in focus or not. So you just have to guess the distance, dial it in, and see what happens.
Permission granted.
Permission granted.
That's number 5 with the brownie?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're doing 6 as well? Wow. Yeah, wait, let me...
I had to fix the bellows with gaffer tape.
Listen, you gotta do what you gotta do. Oh my god, they must be so expensive though, eh? Like,
No,
the...
they're so cheap.
This
Really?
one right here, eBay for like
5 quid?
5 quid?
Yeah.
But to develop, you guys do
Oh,
it
that's
yourself,
more
eh?
expensive. Do it at home now.
Because I find the disposable cover that I have, like developing that can be really pricey.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love them. Like, I'm super sentimental, so I'm like, take my money. Like, I just want the pictures, like, just whatever.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So everyone's stay's been really nice. We've only had a couple of people say no. They've loved the old cameras, and they really like the idea of what we're doing.
We just here to annoy people.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. Just here on vacation. What landscape do you think would be best?
What lens cap?
Landscape. Yay.
Nice.
You read my mind, baby.
I can't read your mind.
You keep hearing Russian voices, you're probably reading my mind.
I thought I could get some beautiful pictures in some puddles and use the reflections like so many people on Instagram. Until I stood up, looked around me and realised that everybody around me was doing the same thing. That was our last roll of film. So we'll head back and develop them and see what we get.
Yeah!
If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, subscribe, like and share. And everybody stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.